Coach, you're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, you know, the folks in the dog pound, they live for games like this. Snowy conditions here at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Here we go. Like 80. Check 53, right. Watch the run.
First carry for James Conner. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. The numbers there for Conner in last week's game. 20 carries, 88 yards.
And while they locked up the #1 seed last week, I don't expect them to change what they do in the running game. I expect them to continue to play the exact same way, but with a change up in personnel because they want to make sure that their #1 guy has fresh legs for the playoffs.
From the 25 on second down, Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's Roethlisberger. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On third down, Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And he rifles one incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he finds McDonald. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first. On 1st and 10 is Conner. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Ready? Black 20. Check 53. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Here's Roethlisberger. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny when we talk focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Devin Bush, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they got to find a way to get it back together.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And as we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spots of the road to the Super Bowl. It runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely, and you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually.
Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
Now Roethlisberger. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Following the penalty, Chubb pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 10 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen.
And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And the pressure gets to him again. T.J. Watt in there. He knew he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when he can...
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
We own it. We own it.
Roethlisberger will throw. Washington's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jaleel Adai. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Following the interception, Mayfield under a heavy rush. rush, and down he goes. T.J. Watt. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To try again after the sack. Mayfield. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. T.J. Watt, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. 3rd and long for Mayfield, and he's going to go down again. T.J. Watt in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at about the 28. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
230. Check 53. Not today, Ron. Not today.
They'll run on first down. Connor. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now it's Roethlisberger, but it's brought in by Washington. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. That'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
51 to Mike, boy. 51.
Now Roethlisberger to throw, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. T.J. Watt in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just is not. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jamie Gillen now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Mike, 180. Mike, I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Mayfield now. They set up the screen to Chubb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to loft it. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 6th touchdown of the season as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the 2nd half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, 1st half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. 4 left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this from 33. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, and it's the Titans on top as that one draws close to halftime. A.J. Brown, a touchdown reception. From the former home of the Colts to their current home, we head west to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. T.Y. Hilton, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And that game all tied up as they do battle with the visiting Raiders. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. His guys have the lead as the white stuff continues to fall. And for the call of the second half, we give it back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. To throw, Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Here's Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Deontay Johnson. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Roethlisberger's pass complete to Deontay Johnson. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Boswell for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half. That continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Yeah, this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy.
Now Mayfield lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
53, 180.
On first down, it's Connor, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Right back to 1st. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Again, a run with Connor. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's the fullback. This is Roosevelt Nix. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Roosevelt Nix his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Well, it was 2nd and goal. You're in there close. That's the fullback's comfort zone.
Not only is it his comfort zone, it's an expectation. That's what he's supposed to do. Turn and hand it to him. Big guys fire out. Find your way into the end zone.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Shazier. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The Browns on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Mayfield to throw it. He finds Beckham complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. A first down throw for Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Mayfield, he'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. This is the tight end, Njoku.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Here's Jamie Gillen now. He's been terrific so far. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And you can see where they sit, perched right at the top. The question, Charles, with a perfect season they have going, what's on the line, how do you see them playing it out these final few weeks of the season?
Well, I can see the locker room voting unanimously to play to win. That's how they're built. It doesn't matter whether you're 0 whatever or undefeated. You want to play every game to win it. But I think from a management and coaching standpoint, you're looking at it and saying how much pressure is on this team to try and keep that record going, and is that really our ultimate goal? They're almost hoping maybe they get beat, and now you can start to rest guys and take the pressure off and just get ready for the playoffs.
On 2nd down, it's Connor. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
180. 53 is the mark. Record.
They'll run on 1st down. Connor, and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 37. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. They convert on third with a gain of 22. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He finds his man Johnson. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Extra point now by Boswell.
For the point after.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And now back out comes the offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Pittsburgh, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.